The story begins with Eriku, a school student whose imagination is so powerful that she constantly gets lost in her own world. She has a huge crush on Omi, the most handsome and popular boy in school. Not only is he a charm machine, but also an amazing tennis player. Every time he wins a match, the girls surround him from all sides, congratulating him. Eriko just stands at a distance, watching him quietly, secretly feeling happy. One day, a girl gives Omi some cookies, and Omi politely thanks her. Eriko watches all this, and when Omi comes to her to take a poster she is distributing, her heart begins to race. Eriko doesn't have any friends, so love or a boyfriend feels like something far out of her reach. She is content simply looking at Omi from afar and then romanticizing him in her imagination. She writes these imaginary love stories on Twitter from an anonymous account under the name Eli. One day, while she is walking, she suddenly hears Omi's voice and freezes. She turns to see Omi throwing those same cookies into a dustbin. Counselor Shiota, standing nearby, tries to stop him, but Omi coolly says that whatever he is given, he can do whatever he wants with it. Eriko is stunned to see this dark side of Omi. Panicking, she leans against a door that suddenly falls open. She immediately apologizes to the teacher, but when she looks up, she sees Omi staring at her. Scared, she runs away, forgetting her phone behind. Omi picks it up and reads all her dreamy posts. Eriko rushes back, trying to snatch her phone, but Omi calls her Eli, and she freezes. He reveals that he knows she has been writing all those romantic fantasies about him. Then Omi reads her latest post out loud. Embarrassed, Eriko apologizes, but Omi says something shocking. He won't tell anyone, as long as Eriko keeps his cookie secret. Then Omi slowly leans toward her seductively, as if he's going to kiss her. Eriko pushes him away. Omi, almost teasing, tells her to close her eyes because he can give her a good memory. His arrogance surprises Eriko, but deep inside, she secretly wants her dream to come true, so she closes her eyes and says, "Please kiss me. I've imagined this moment more than 200 times." Hearing this, Omi bursts out laughing. Before leaving, Omi reminds her not to tell anyone about the cookie incident, and Eriko goes back to writing her dreamy love stories on Twitter. She feels a little sad seeing that everyone else has friends, but her heart still fills with joy when one of her followers, Perolina, comments that they love her writing. Then a girl named Sarah bumps into her, surprising Eriko. She notices that Sarah is holding Omi's jacket. Eriko goes straight to teacher Shota's room, where she finds Omi instead. Omi tells her that Shota is in a meeting, and that he's actually Omi's uncle. Eriko asks if he's going to take his jacket back from that girl, but Omi casually says no. Girls often keep his things. Eriko argues that it's not just any object, it's clothing. When a girl likes a boy, she loses herself in the smell of his clothes. She wants to wear them, as if they were a part of him. But Omi coldly replies that he doesn't care. Eriko insists he should say something so girls won't just take his stuff. Omi quietly says he doesn't want anyone understanding his feelings, and he doesn't want to get attached to anyone. Eriko realizes that while he looks popular on the outside, he's actually lonely inside. A few hours later, Professor Shiota looks for Eriko and asks her to write a book review, because Omi had told him she was an excellent writer with amazing imagination and word choice. Hearing this melts Eriko's heart. She feels so happy that Omi noticed her talent. With renewed confidence, she decides to retrieve Omi's jacket. She goes to the sewing room, where Sarah refuses to give the jacket back. Eriko chases after her, shouting that stealing is wrong. They run all the way to the stairs, and Eriko trips on her shoelaces. Just then, in a dramatic entrance, Omi catches her before she falls. They end up very close, creating a romantic moment. Annoyed, Sarah tells them to step away. Then she asks Eriku if Omi touched her inappropriately, and Eriku quickly says no. Embarrassed, Sarah returns the jacket and apologizes, explaining she took it only because Omi's body shape is perfect, and she wanted to use it to design clothing. She admits that she is obsessed with a fictional male character from a painting, and creates men's fashion, imagining that he'd wear her designs. Eriko realizes Sarah is imaginative like herself, and the two become good friends. Later, when Eriko is alone, Omi talks about giving her a reward for bringing back his jacket, appearing just like the dreamy Omi from her fantasies. But Eriko smiles and says she doesn't need that fake Omi. She wants a reward from the real Omi, the one who speaks bluntly, acts a bit arrogant, and smiles like an innocent kid. Omi is shocked that Eriku understands him so well. He gives her the jacket and smiles, because he has started developing feelings for her. Then he asks, "Will you accept my love?" Eriko is so stunned that she can't answer. Omi smiles, says goodbye, and leaves. Eriko jumps with joy. Another one of her fantasies has come true. She got to wear Omi's jacket. At school, Sarah's best friend Leo meets Eriko. She tells him everything Omi said. Leo thinks Omi is honest, but Sarah warns her not to trust a boy who is always surrounded by girls. Eriko feels relieved that she didn't take Omi's words too seriously. Outside the school, she sees a crowd of girls waiting for Omi, but Omi suddenly appears, grabs her hand, and pulls her into a storage room. In a soft voice, he asks if she will go home with him. Eriku says no. She's filling in for someone in the agriculture committee today. Omi asks her to spend time with him the next day, but she says she already promised to meet Sarah. Omi leaves, disappointed. Later, we see Eriko planting flowers. She slips into a sweet fantasy where Omi is kissing her, but her dream breaks when the professor tells her she'll be working with a new boy, Kaname. Kaname asks why she's there if she's not on the agriculture committee. Eriko says someone asked her to fill in, and she had time. Kaname sarcastically says that if she has so much time, she can plant all the flowers by herself, and he walks away. A few days later, Eriko goes to Professor Shioda's room to write the book review. There she learns that Omi will compete in the upcoming school tournament. She imagines another dreamy moment, Omi playing tennis in full hero mode. Suddenly, Omi walks in and asks if she was daydreaming about him again. Embarrassed, she quickly denies it. Finally, the day of the tournament arrives. Eriko competes in table tennis, while Sarah cheers loudly for her. Eriko wins her first match. Later, Sarah congratulates her and tells her the finals for tennis are about to begin. Meanwhile, Omi overhears some boys talking badly about him, saying he doesn't even practice properly, yet still made it to the finals. Eriko brings a support banner to cheer for Omi and waits excitedly for the match. Just then, a girl announces that Omi is injured and won't be playing. Eriko's heart breaks. She immediately goes looking for him and finds him asleep. She gently covers him with a blanket and turns to leave, accidentally bumping a table and waking him up. Eriku asks what injury he got, and he casually says he faked the injury so he could be removed from the match. Eriko angrily asks if he's crazy and storms off. Omi quietly picks up the blanket she left behind and reads the message written on it. Eriku goes to her next match, but she's so distracted by Omi's words that she keeps losing points. Suddenly, Omi dramatically enters with the same blanket and cheers for her. Energized, Eriko makes a strong comeback. She doesn't win the finals, but finishes second overall, and her classmates congratulate her. Later, Eriko apologizes to Omi, saying she was heartbroken when she heard he wouldn't play, because she had seen him practicing herself. She motivates him, telling him never to give up again. Then she finally answers the question Omi had once asked her on the beach. Yes, I accept your love. Hearing this, Omi happily hugs her. Eriko's heart starts beating so fast that, blushing, she pushes him away and hides herself inside the blanket. Omi gets a little confused and asks, "So, what you just said, was that a lie?" Eriku smiles and says, "No, it was true. It's just, your hug was so sudden." Just then, they hear some voices in the hallway, and both of them hide under the same blanket, so close that even their breaths begin to mingle. Omi softly whispers, "I like you," and asks, "Can I kiss you?" Eriko is stunned, and Omi gently kisses her. Then he proposes to her, "Will you be my girlfriend?" Eriko happily says yes. They begin a secret relationship. No meeting at school, no telling anyone. A little while later, Leo runs into Omi and immediately realizes he is waiting for someone. Leo gives him some advice. If you really like Eriko, then don't let her feel alone. Take care of her. Later, Omi walks Eriko home from school and invites her over to his place. As soon as Eriko enters Omi's room, she can't believe she's actually standing in the room of her crush. She gets so nervous that her breathing becomes quick and unsteady. Just then, Omi comes in with 2 cold drinks and sits beside her. When he leans forward to kiss Eriku, he suddenly notices how anxious she is, so he apologizes and pulls back. But this time, Eriku stops him herself and leans in to kiss him. Because her eyes are closed, she accidentally brushes her lips against Omi's neck instead. Eriko becomes embarrassed to the point of wanting to disappear and apologizes, but Omi smiles, moves closer, gives her a soft kiss on the neck, and cheekily says, "Now we're even." Eriko's heart starts pounding wildly. She had never been this close to anyone before. The next day, Omi meets Aoba, a boy from his tennis club. Aoba congratulates him on his victory and says he feels jealous of him. Meanwhile, Eriko keeps writing tweets on her Twitter profile, and she again receives a message from a follower named Perolina, who says her love story is very cute. Eriko replies, saying her relationship is going well now. A little while later, while Eriko is walking, she once again trips because of her shoelaces and falls. At that moment, Kaname arrives. He kneels down to remove her shoe to check her foot. Seeing this, Eriku panics and instinctively pushes him away. She immediately apologizes. Kaname becomes sad and feels frustrated with himself, wondering why he is like this. Eriko gently tells him that hating yourself or feeling bad is something every person goes through at some point. But what helped her was having friends. She thanks him for his help and walks away. Then Kaname takes out his phone, and here comes the big twist. Kaname is Perolina. He was the one who sent messages to Eli, and now when a notification pops up on Eriko's phone, he realizes that Eriko is Eli. In the classroom, Professor Shota asks for volunteers for the cultural festival, and surprisingly, many students suggest Eriko's name. Delighted, she accepts the responsibility. That evening, she tells this to Omi, but Omi becomes a bit sad because now Eriko will be busy and they'll have less time together. The next morning, Kaname talks to Eriko and calmly says, "I know that you're Eli." Hearing this, Eriko becomes scared, especially when Kaname reveals that he is Perolina. Eriko immediately fears he might threaten her, but Kaname makes only one simple request: "Can we be friends?" At that exact moment, Omi overhears their conversation and is shocked when Kaname calls her Eli. Later, Eriko tells Omi everything in private. Omi clearly tells her to block Kaname and ignore his friendship request. But Eriko softly replies that Kaname only asked for friendship, something that even she struggled to ask people for, so she decides to think about it. Omi then tells her that he has decided to participate in the regional tennis tournament. Eriko becomes extremely excited and gives him her full support. Omi promises that he will win this for her, which makes Eriko emotional. After that, Omi tells Eriko not to worry about Kaname. He will handle his friendship request himself. Both of them go to the aquarium to meet Kaname. Omi greets Kaname politely, but Kaname coldly replies, "I don't want to be your friend," and then asks, "What is your relationship with Eriko?" Just when Omi is about to answer, Eriko interrupts and says, "We're just friends." Kaname can't believe it and leaves, but Omi feels shattered inside. Later, Eriko apologizes to Omi and tells him not to take Kaname's words to heart. Give him some time, maybe he'll become your friend. But jealousy is clearly written on Omi's face. He asks, "When I was about to say we're a couple, why did you stop me?" Eriko replies that she doesn't want rumors to spread in school. Omi becomes even more upset. He asks, "Why are you so stubborn about being friends with Kaname? There are plenty of other people to be friends with." Eriko quietly says, "It's not easy for me to make friends. You wouldn't understand." Omi, in a hurt voice, replies, "And you don't understand my feelings." Then he angrily says, "If you're getting along so well with Kaname, meet again in the next story." The story begins with Eriku, a school student whose imagination is so powerful that she constantly gets lost in her own world. She has a huge crush on Omi, the most handsome and popular boy in school. Not only is he a charm machine, but also an amazing tennis player. Every time he wins a match, the girls surround him from all sides, congratulating him. Eriko just stands at a distance, watching him quietly, secretly feeling happy. One day, a girl gives Omi some cookies, and Omi politely thanks her. Eriko watches all this, and when Omi comes to her to take a poster she is distributing, her heart begins to race. Eriko doesn't have any friends, so love or a boyfriend feels like something far out of her reach. She is content simply looking at Omi from afar and then romanticizing him in her imagination. She writes these imaginary love stories on Twitter from an anonymous account under the name Eli. One day, while she is walking, she suddenly hears Omi's voice and freezes. She turns to see Omi throwing those same cookies into a dustbin. Counselor Shiota, standing nearby, tries to stop him, but Omi coolly says that whatever he is given, he can do whatever he wants with it. Eriko